It's day 25 of the 28-day Super Juice Me as part of the world's biggest juice detox, and I can't believe we're almost at the end. I haven't done a video for a couple of days because, like I said, I sort of sometimes feel that perhaps I'm just whittering on each day and not saying anything useful. So the last couple of days I've been mostly on track. Well, no, let me correct that. I've been totally on track, but I have had to have an SOS, hunger SOS yesterday. This is the first one that I've had since I've been on the 28 days this time round. I was trying to think about why I felt hungry, and I actually felt physically hungry this time, and I had water and I had juice and I had a herbal tea, and I still felt actually hungry. So I gave in and had, well, not gave in, it was a choice to have a naked bar, which I did. Having thought about it, I think perhaps what's happened this week is I set a challenge to make sure that I got 10,000 steps minimum per day for this week. That's considerably more than I would ordinarily do. I usually do about 7,000, something like that. So that's a lot more exercise. Excuse me. On top of that, I've also been doing half an hour on the static bike every morning, which I now have at full resistance. And actually, I'm finding this quite a lot easier. So I think the combination of upping the steps and the exercise increase is what made me hungry. So 24 days without having an hunger SOS is fine, and it's there, so I had it. Feeling much better today. Got up and made my juices this morning. I've actually just put something in the dehydrator as well, because we purchased an Excalibur dehydrator, and we've done sort of the safe things, like tomatoes and apples and pears, bananas, and they're going down a treat. So today I've made vegan cheesy kale crisps, which for those of you who know me, it's the first time I've managed to find a whole leaf kale anywhere. Usually I'm in Morrison's buying the ready chopped stuff, but actually our greengrocers in the village is now stocking whole leaf. So I bought some of that, excuse me, and rather than juice it, I thought, no, I'm going to have a go at making some of these crisps in the dehydrator. So they are a mix of soaked cashews, nutritional yeast, red bell pepper, I think I had turmeric, a bit of salt, and it was supposed to have onion powder in as well, but I hadn't got any, so I didn't put that in. So that's all been blitzed up, and then the leaves have been coated, and it's now gone in the dehydrator for 12 hours. So it'll be interesting to see what they taste like tomorrow. The other thing I've been working on this week as well is I've got some Power Thought cards, which are these little sort of almost like coaster size cards. And it was quite funny because today's one actually says it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Well, relating to the food issue yesterday, I kind of wish I had this card yesterday now. It was a thought that I was hungry, and you can change the way you think. So perhaps actually I wasn't really hungry, but once I started thinking about it, that maybe I convinced myself into having this hunger SOS. And on the back of it, it says, I'm not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world. I am willing to change and grow. And I think for me, that's really significant, because I have always been limited by my past thinking. I've always thought, well, I've always eaten too much, or I've always behaved this way, so therefore past behaviour is predictor of future behaviour is one of those terms that is bandied around quite a lot in our house, but actually it's not true. Just because that's how I used to behave or how I used to think doesn't mean that I have to carry on in that way. And I think that's highlighted by the fact that doing a juicing journey, it does change your taste buds, and it really, if you start reading some of the literature around fats and sugars and the chemicals that are in our foods, it really changes the way that you actually think about things. And yeah, I'm willing to change and grow. I'm trying things now that I never thought I'd do. I've mentioned before, I signed up for the Cardiff Half Marathon. Excuse me, I've never run. I didn't like it at school, but I'm getting there. I mean, at the moment, I'm only on the treadmill and I'm walking quite fast. This morning, I did attempt a bit of running, but I could feel pain in my knee, so I did stop. I have not got a very good knee, so I'm not sure how we're going to progress with this. I have got some proper knee straps now, so before I start running on it again, I will put the knee straps on. And I think I was a bit scared of flying off the back as well, so I kind of had it reasonably slow. I was at 6 kilometers per hour and I was holding on, and I only ran for a little bit, but it's a start. I've got over that fear now of not flying off the back of the treadmill. So yeah, I think you go on this journey of juicing to heal your health, and you've kind of really got to address your thoughts. It's not just, oh, well, I'm just going to juice for a little while and then I'm going to lose this weight, or I'm going to fix X, Y, and Z, and then I'm just going to go back to the way that I was eating before or what I was doing before. That's not the answer. You have to fix your thoughts as well, and you have to try and get yourself into a positive frame of mind. It was evident again yesterday when I took my middle daughter. She's been diagnosed with juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, which is like a random arm spasm thing that she gets. And the consultant wanted to put her on medication. Now, having read all the stuff that I've read recently, I'm really dubious about medications. And he wanted to put her on quite a high dose to start with. Well, she hasn't got extreme spasms. She has them occasionally. So my argument with him was, well, you know, why are we putting her on a high dose? Why can't we put her on a low dose to start with and then work up? And I think he found it quite strange that I questioned him. And I think that's probably something I would never have done before. I would, you know, I think we have this impression that doctors and consultants are God, you know, and what they say goes. But I questioned him, and I did explain to him that we'd been giving her a juice every day that was beetroot, carrot, and cucumber. And since she's been having that, she's had like one spasm a week, whereas she was having them every day. Now, I think his argument was, oh, well, it's just a coincidence. And I said, well, it may be just a coincidence, but I'd rather work on her lifestyle changes and keep her on a low dose medication than go straight in with a high dose. She has to go on medication because she wants to learn to drive, and they won't accept her not being on medication and learning to drive. So, you know, it's the lesser of two evils, but it's something I wouldn't have done 6 months ago. I would never have questioned that. I would have had blind faith that what they were telling me was right. So, yeah, change the way you think and the rest just comes naturally, I think. So anyway, that's my thoughts for today. I've got, where are we? We're at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and on my step challenge, I am currently at 6,221. I've got the dog walk to do this afternoon, and I will probably go and do another hour on the treadmill, because it's awful here. I mean, well, I say it's awful. We've got away with it lightly. I think we haven't got any snow, but it's cold, windy, sleeting. So I don't think we'll be out walking much, and the dog's a bit of a fair weather dog, so she doesn't like it either. So I'm quite looking forward to Monday to weigh in and measurements, and the plan for next week is now set. I am going to do 7 days of green juice only, and Reboot Phil, who is one of the guys on our Juice 365 Facebook group, has come up with some recipes. So I've got a whole week's worth of recipes. So my plan is before Sunday to get it all planned out. Work out what ingredients I need to buy, and that's my aim for next week. And the good thing about it is if I weigh on Monday and then weigh the following Monday, I will see what effect having a week on green is, because this time I haven't really weighed that often. So anyway, I hope everybody else is getting on well. Come on guys, it's nearly the end, and I'll speak to you soon.